How's it going, everybody? My name is Ethan Alexander, and welcome to the Mimic Trap. Give me just a moment. I see that my mic is peaking a little bit. Let me turn that down slightly. Hi, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the Mimic Trap, the magical interdimensional junk shop that you see before you that's really still not filled with junk. I've been having way too many problems to put more things in this shop. But hi, hello, how's everybody doing? Welcome back after my foray into new computer time. It's been interesting. But yes, I have a new laptop. So Potato has been retired. Potato has hi Sora. But Potato, yes, Potato has been retired. He is now going to hopefully be helping Azu out because Azu can use Potato as a stream capture for their own PC. That way they don't have to run both stream and games on it, which is nice. And that also lets them wheel stuff over to the other side of the room so they can play console games because we have an assortment. So that's good. But yes, so we've got an upgrade. I can do more things. This boy does run a little hot, so we're gonna test some things out. But I currently have uh, a browser source, and I have OBS, and I have this new thing which is PNGtuber Plus. So that's my little dog. That's the little guy right there. He just mounts. I love him. I love this. I've used vtuber before, which is also really good, and that one's free. This one's also free. This is PNGtuber Plus. You can get it on Steam. It's completely free. Very nice. You can kind of do it like moving layers, so everything can bounce separately. Like my tail moves and everything moves kind of independently. You just kind of have to set it. It's a little tricky to get used to, but it's really fun. And I'm really excited. I literally threw the model together last night, like an hour before bed. So if you see anything, like I'm pretty sure the mouth clips through at certain points, but don't worry about that. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. But I'm very excited. um. But it's just the little dog. I don't have one of Big Me yet. I don't have my more human form out yet. But yeah, so we've been doing a lot. I can't even begin to tell you. Fancy? Oh yeah, thank you. Yes, it is very fancy. I'm very excited. I'm excited to be able to do so many more things because I can get actually properly into VTubing now. I can focus. I do have some art done for my actual model. Um Probably enough to maybe do a half model, but that would be, the rigging is going to take me ages. So we'll see how that goes. Um, but yeah, so that's a thing. But I can do so much more now. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I feel like I have so much to tell you guys about. But today, and we are going to jump over to my game. And please bear with me. Let me know if there's any weird audio things. I've had an interesting time setting this up. And if you notice anything is missing that you usually see, I think I got all my usual stuff here. But let's hop over to the game, which is right now our art studio. Yeah, so this is our art studio. This is gonna be awesome. I'm very excited. Yeah, and I got my little jumping dog, so everything looks like how it should, I'm pretty sure. But we're working on jars today. If anybody doesn't know, I had an emote raffle relatively recently. It was last month at this point. It ended on November 20th. And we had 3 winners, and that was Sora, who's here. We have Nyaneri, who I don't know if she'll pop in or not, but I'll show you guys. She's a kitty cat. And then we have Yumeru, who's my friend. She's a Baku. Um, and then we have a surprise that is actually just a gift I'm doing for someone, who is Parn, who is a harpy, an owl harpy. Um, and they were the original. So their old model that they're no longer using was the original sample I used for the jar emotes. And I thought, why not just do one for them again anyway? I did the first one for free as a joke, and they really liked it, and they were talking about getting a new one. So like, I'll do them one because I thought it was a nice thing. And it was really funny because as soon as the emote winners were picked, Parn messages me and is like, "Hey, so can I get one?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're gonna be working on it. Okay, so let's see. So let's move over here. I have to slide. Everything on my desk is backwards. My laptop used to be on the left, and my drawing pad used to be on the right. So everything's flipped now. So because of where cords have to be. So I'm a little out of sorts for streaming stuff, but we will get everything sorted. All right, so we're gonna start out with Sora's, and I believe, let me get over to my actual thing. I believe Sora's character. This is, I believe, Sora. Is it Hibiki? I think that's what you said. Ah, back to here. Yeah. Yi. Okay, good. I remembered. I'm very bad at names, but this is Hibiki, and we're gonna be putting poor Hibiki in a jar. Let's see. Let me go. That is not the right window. Okay, here we go. So let me pull her out. Let's get back to the jar base. Poor baby. Let's see. What's it? Where's a good viewpoint? Probably here. We'll probably do the front view. You know, I don't think you guys can. Can you guys see this? Nah, you guys can't see that part. You can kind of see it a little bit because I have it selected. You can kind of see it in my navigator. I might have to do that and turn that off for Yumarus. Whoop! Whoop! Uh-oh. I hope that didn't mess up anything. Oh, that freaked it out. Uh-oh. Whoops! Hold on. Come back. Okay, are we still going? Okay, we are. OBS freaked out for a second. I accidentally minimized it. I should stop swapping windows. Okay. This is gonna go over here, and then let's out here. That way we can get the sketch done. I heard a ding. What was that? What was that? I heard a ding. I, what do you mean? Where'd it go? Hold on. What was that? I don't know. Okay, well, whatever it was, that's something. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's get started. That's up front. There we go. And then, yeah, there we go. Now I can read chat. It's the ghost. It really is the ghost. Okay, guys, like, I'm serious. It has been crazy. So I think that's the sound for USB unplugged, but I didn't touch anything. What do you mean? What do you mean? I swear to God, this is the weirdest. So the whole reason I wasn't streaming yesterday because I wanted to stream yesterday really, really bad. I was very excited. I was amped up. I had an amount of caffeine, i.e., tea, because that is my drink of choice. And I was like all amped up. We were gonna fix my audio issue, and my audio issue turned out to be infinitely more complicated than required, and I don't know why. I really still to this. So what had happened was, let's see, what do we want to use for my sketch? We can just do a little light gray. I think that'll work fine. Uh, so what had happened was because usually when I test my audio, I kind of do a little like a playback thing where I make it so that I can hear what I'm saying as I'm saying it. Very bothersome for my brain, but it works, and that's all that matters. Um, and when I did that on OBS, all I heard was my voice, but just very very tinny, very the feedback was kind of awful. It was tinny and echoey. And then for whatever reason, there was this god awful hiss. And it was a hiss that I could have the mic completely flipped off and you could still see the hiss in the bar, right? It was still hissing even when the mic was turned off, which is crazy. Like, you couldn't hear it, obviously, because the mic was off, but you could see that OBS was picking up a hiss no matter whether I was talking or not. And then when we finally suppressed the hiss well enough, you could hear the hiss in the background whenever I talked. So if I was quiet, it was fine, but if I talked, you could hear the hissing, which is really weird. Sorry, there's a snake in your PC? I would not be surprised. This is an Asus, which sounds very snaky to me. So maybe Asus is just the snake brand. I don't think it is, because I think there is a particular brand that I know does mice and stuff that has 3 snakes. I don't remember which one. Maybe there's multiple snakes. Maybe PCs are just what maybe snakes are what PCs run off of. I wouldn't be surprised. That would not surprise me in the least. All right, let's see. How do I want to do ears? That should be. Probably won't see most of this. Let me move this around a little. So I can see face, because face is important. Go. Go. All right. I think I like where the ears are at. The ears look pretty level with each other. All right. And but yeah, so there was hissing. It was sounded like I was in an echoey tin can, right? So we tried several settings. We couldn't figure out how to fix it. So on my old setup, I had a program that is called Voicemeeter. And Voicemeeter's really good. It's basically a virtual audio cable, so it's like a virtual mixing board. Um, and with that, you can kind of do a lot of stuff you like, not everything obviously, but you can do quite a bit that you could do if you had an actual like mixing setup, which is nice for someone like me who doesn't have a lot of equipment. And it kind of overtakes everything. So if you're using Voicemeeter, and this will come into play later. This will be important in a minute. If you're using Voicemeeter, you can't not use Voicemeeter. You have to use it all the time. So if you're playing a game, if you're talking to someone, no matter what you're doing, if you want audio to be either coming to you or coming from you, you need to have Voicemeeter active. Right? So, and like I said, this will be important later. Don't ask. It's very strange. Yeah. Um, so we downloaded that again, and it wasn't fixing anything. We're like, in fact, it might be worse. So we played around with settings and played around with settings, and I'm like, okay, nothing is fixing this. We don't physically know what's wrong. What do? So I was like, you know what, Azu, and Azu was my roommate. I told Azu, let's just jump into a Discord call. Let's see if you can even hear it on your end. Because we hadn't done that at that point. We probably should have done that from the start. There's a good chance that this was never an issue, and that we somehow created a worse issue for ourselves, which would not be surprising in the least. Um, but yeah, so we jumped into the Discord call, and Ozzy was like, "Okay, so I can't really hear what you're talking about." Like, so they were like, why don't we try like a game, because there's people that's been complaining about like having games open and that Windows 11 just nerfs everything because it's rude like that. And so I was like, okay, we'll try that. And I did that, and it was fine for the game. However, I was like, let's try YouTube. So I opened up Firefox and I pulled up Steam Powered Giraffe because that's my go-to music. It's just how it be. And Ozzy was like, so I can hear your web browser audio, and I'm like, that's not good. That shouldn't be doing that. Let's move this here. Let's widen this here a little bit. Because that's specifically not how Discord functions unless you tell it to do that. Oh, actually, that's kind of cute. Yeah, let's make hair bigger. I think that looks cute. Yeah, right about there. So that's not what that's supposed to do. And what was I saying? Oh, I got distracted by the hair. So it's not supposed to do that. So we were kind of panicking, like that shouldn't be doing that. So then we're like, okay, so let's just shut all of the settings off on Voicemeeter. So we shut all, like, there's nothing is selected on Voicemeter, nothing at all. There's no input, there's no output. We reset the parameters to base. And you can still hear. You couldn't hear me. My mic wasn't working, but you could hear my web browser over Discord. So we're like, oh no, what did we do? So then we did the thing that you should do, which is we turned Voicemeeter off. Now, as you know from earlier, if you turn Voicemeter off when you've been using it and have it installed, it should turn everything off. Nothing at all should function. Guess what was still playing? And it was the desktop audio, and we have no idea. There was no reason, zero possibility that it should be playing at all. Like, even in a troubleshooting mode, there should have been zero sound. Azu could still hear Steam Powered Giraffe through their headphones. I don't understand. They don't understand. We had a moment where Azu was like, I need a drink. Neither of us drink. We don't keep alcohol in this house. And they were like, yeah, no, this is enough. This'll do it. That's it. I can't. And I'm like, yeah, no, I understand. But yeah, so that's so then I was like, okay, let's screw it. Let's just uninstall it. And then I uninstalled it. I uninstalled voice meter because it was acting up. So it's clearly not doing its job. And that fixed the problem. I stopped being a tin can. I stopped echoing. There was no hissing. Um, I physically don't know what we did, if there was a setting we turned off in the in between when we were messing with everything, or what. I do not know. I don't know what we did. All I know is it's working now. That's the only important thing. That is it. That's the important part. Just but there's no, so I cannot physically on this computer, I cannot use voice meter, which is a shame because it is very useful. Especially if you want to like split your audio, make it so like if you want to have some Discord open and have chat not hear it, you can do that. Like it's an extremely useful program. Can't use it on this PC because Windows 11 is like a dog that you get that someone tells you, yeah, they're like several years old at this point. They're potty trained and then it shits on your floor. Just I can't. I really just, oh god. This has been, that has been an experience. And that's just, that's just that. That's not the many hours I have spent trying to, so I have gone a little crazy the past week trying to go from a terabyte of available space to half a terabyte of available space, and that's not the worst thing. I was not using my old PC to its full capacity. However, however, I did have like 30 gig, no, was it 50? I had an amount of gigabytes of photos that I have taken since the year 2017, and several from before then, just not many. Um, from my life before. Um, so I had to go through, I pushed the delete button manually because there was no quicker way to do it while also checking pictures for quality and for what I would like to keep. Um, I deleted 20,000 files. And I'm not exaggerating. It was more than that, but we're going to say 20,000 files. I deleted at least 36 gigabytes. At least. Cuz I was at a half a terabyte before getting this PC. So, I really had to do some trimming. I really had to do some stuff to fix it. Um yeah, so that's been I've been slowly going insane. If anybody's wondering, Ethan has been going slowly insane. All right, so I want a different line here. Let's move this part over. Usually I do, but I don't usually have a base. I made this base specifically for this stream. Um because I'd only ever drawn one of these before. And let's now, how do we want to do the little Angie mark? Because the Angie mark is really cute. Sora still think that's crazy. One half a terabyte, holy moly. Yeah, it was all photos. Like a lot of what was on the computer was games I haven't played in ages, or like old clutter files from deleting things. Like you get rid of games and then it leaves behind save files, etc. Just weird stuff that Steam is not always efficient at getting rid of things when you tell it to uninstall stuff, and also just old programs I haven't used in ages, things like that. So a lot of it was just clutter, but like I had so many memories, so many. They weren't memories, but they were um just me being me, and being a hoarder of photography is not any different from being a hoarder of items in my book. I enjoy the world, and hold on. this looks a little. Let's change this. This thicker. That what's wrong? Yeah, we'll make it. We'll make it a little. I probably should have done the thing where. Yeah, let's do that. Hold on. Let's do that real quick. I jumped right into this because I was storytelling and I'm sort of very distracted. Also, let me turn the shine off. There we go. That helps. um, I'm very distracted because storytelling. But yeah, so I take a lot of pictures. I also was involved in application that I cannot genuinely think of the name of. If I think of it later, I will let you guys know. But it's a plant and animal and etc. Living creatures identification app that you like open up the app, you let it scan your either your photos or the thing IRL as you're looking at it. And it'll tell you, if not the species, something very close to it, and then you can upload it to a website where people who are actually, you know, scientists can help you identify the creature, and also your your input helps science because all of the data goes towards researching what animals are migrating where, how many of what animals are in each area. It's really, really interesting. It also helps with, telling migration patterns, all kinds of stuff. And it's really neat. And there's even been pictures added to the files that of species that had never been photographed before. And it's really, really cool. I have to find I think is it iNatural? It's iNaturalist. iNaturalist was I think that's the not the part that scans. That's specifically because you have to have two apps. You have to have the one that scans the things and it gives you a badge that tells you how nice you're doing because you've gotten all these different species, which is really fun. And I got the maximum amount of badges. So I was thinking at one point of deleting it and renewing it because deleting it there doesn't mess up any of your stuff on iNaturalist. It just kind of messes up what's on the phone. But I couldn't figure out how to get my save files off of there. But it was really fun. So I had so many pictures from helping scientists in like California um, with their animal classification system. Because I thought that was a worthwhile endeavor, and it was. It was very fun. It was very much like playing Pokemon, but in real life, which was really cool. So it was like Pokemon Go, but IRL, and it's like that's cool. I I enjoyed it. Um, yeah, Max. Yeah, I maxed out the adventurer badges. I would absolutely adore being someone who goes out and studies animals in the wild. Finding them, researching them, observing them would be the coolest thing ever. Okay, I have a question, Sora. How? Oh, sorry, I'm got hands to mouth. Sora, what do we want to do? Because your flower is right in the place of the usual Engie mark. So I usually do the Engie mark here. What I can do is I can do. Sure, let's just add a layer. So it's over here. So we could do Engie mark over here, which would be fine, and then flower over here. But I feel like that's going to be a little cluttered. We could also do flower here. So flower here, just for sake of ease. And then Angie mark here. Do you like that? What do you think? That's not bad. I don't know how to make the flower look like an Angie mark because that would be also cute. uh, that's what I did with Parn's old model. They had a really big ahoge, the wild hair on an anime character, and I just turned it into the Angie symbol. Which was really fun. Sora could give her an Angie Mark hair clip instead of the flower. That would be cute. That would be cute. Okay, we could do that. Okay, so let's do that. So let's keep it on a separate layer. And we'll make the Angie Mark red, but the nice pink on the inside. So we'll like this. Make it nice and neat. And this is just my sketch. I don't know why I'm being so efficient about this. Ah, then we'll just make it in little hair clip. That'll work. Sora, my most recent art has layers after watching a certain stuff. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you started. How are you liking separating things onto layers? Is it helping at all? Because I know, for me, when I learned what the, because I took, it's funny because I actually took a computer art class before I got into digital art. So I had the advantage of my school was a weird art school, half and half. So it was a normal school for half of the school, and the other half of the school was the weird art kids. And my art professor was super, super cool. And he was like, yeah, let's throw on a computer art class. So I learned how to do Photoshop. Not like the big stuff in Photoshop, but just like, basic stuff. And it's been very helpful because Photoshop translates to a lot of stuff. Sora, I can lock layers so I don't accidentally draw the wrong. There you go. That's fantastic. Yeah, no, that's super useful. It's also really useful locking the layers so you don't color outside the lines. So you could fill something entirely with the flat color, lock the layer, and then just color on it and not have to ever worry about going outside the lines, which is my favorite thing. That's my favorite thing. It's this little guy. So I don't know if you guys can see on stream, but it's this little guy right here. So it's so you can lock it up here and you lock it. So if you don't lock it, you can draw outside of it. But if you do lock it, you can only color in the lines, and it's super, super useful. That is my favorite thing. Okay, let me go back to what I was doing. Okay, there we go. So we'll put the Enki mark there. And then let's go back to the sketch. That sketch. Okay. Alright, so that's sketch. And then let's do, can do a little scarfy here. Hold on, let me scale it. Hold on, let me go over here. We have a little scarfy, then another little scarf? Or the dress has little shoulder. Oh yeah, the dress has little shoulder peeky-boos. Okay, so let me put those in before I forget they exist. So little shoulder peeky right in here. Exaggerate those. Um, and then the sleeves come to about here. And then they're real poofy. That. Oh, not there. Yeah, but I'm really glad you're liking it. Anytime I can be helpful, it makes me very happy. We want eyes in. Eye. Like, should go under like that. Now we're getting into the more sketchy part of this. Me, me, like this. But yeah, anytime I can help people out, help them work on their own art stuff, very happy. Sora, Corel still loves to crash though, so I did have to redraw it once, but had the base stored luckily. Oh good, so at least it saved the base, but that really sucks. Uh, Unfortunately, Clip Studio is a little on the pricey side, but you can either do like I think it's like $20 a month subscription. Like everything's doing that these days, or you can pay outright. It's much cheaper than Photoshop. So it's only like I think 100 for the advanced one. If you get the basic one, it used to be 50. Don't quote me on what it is now. But the basic version that gives you most of the stuff, honestly, um, is what it was $50, which isn't bad. It's actually a reasonable. That's a good Christmas present. That is a good. You can actually be like, hey, so I've got this art thing I want. Can you please get? Can I please has? Uh, so yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Anytime you like, but if you like Corel, I do understand. I'm just very big. This also has autosave function, which is nice. I can set it up to save, like, I think I have it set up currently to 15-minute intervals, which is helpful because I'm a big silly, and I either save all the time or I save not at all because that's where the way my brain works. So, yeah. All right, so there's skirt. The skirt should cover butt. That comes to about out here for the shirt. Shirt comes out. Don't need to pay too much attention. Fine. Actually, don't think I need this much. Yeah, don't need that much. Elastic part. Probably won't see much of this for the most part. The elastics on the. I do want to exaggerate the scarf, I think. Let's see. Shoes. Shoes are real easy. Shoes, because they're just little beans. Shoes are just going to be like this. I don't have to do much for that. One thing I like about little simple chibi guys is we don't have to do much. Have to actually make it straight, though. Can't go straight, too gay. That was something I'm probably told this story before on stream, but I had a friend who, no matter, they were like, I am too gay to go straight. So if you told them, if you were giving them directions in the car, they'd be like, straight? I don't know what that is. Do you mean onward? So we started just saying onward constantly. It was very funny. Like forward, onward, and it just kind of stuck. Too gay to go straight. Yeah. I've had some very silly friends, especially my college. My college friends were great, and I loved them. Azu, I actually met in school. Technically, they stole me from they stole me from my mom. But yeah, we met in school. That's how I know Azu. Azu is smart. Um, and I met a lot of good friends. Uh, some of which I don't talk to as often now because they've all gone on with their life stuff, which is fine. I miss them though. I have a friend who's in the Navy currently. She's doing okay, but I need to check in on her and see how she's doing. But I never know when she's, stateside, and that does kind of suck. But with how long I've been where I've been living and how long she's been gone and how long she's set to serve. It probably won't be long before she just gets out, unless she renews her contract, which I would not put it past her. She enjoys it. As long as she's happy, that's all that matters. As long as she's happy and she's safe, because she can't die. That is the thing. She cannot. If she can get hurt, and then we can make fun of her for it because that's the kind of person she is. She's like, yeah, I did a stupid. Make fun of me. That's exactly what you need to do. But she cannot die. That is not okay. I don't want her to get hurt. I'd rather her not, but I also don't put it past her to do something inherently stupid and get herself injured. She's one of those people that makes decisions that you just go, "Yeah, that was a decision that you made." Indeed. And that's all you can do. There's nothing else to it. I don't know how I want. I don't think I want little calves on the beanies. I think I just want little. Yeah, we'll just do little two blade. Calves don't really look very good. Thighs look okay. Calves don't really look very good because it just looks like cankles. Nothing wrong with cankles, just not the aesthetic we're going for currently. They're just little beans. I love little chibis. They're so cute. Chibis are actually a fairly recent experiment for me. Which is also why Itera's was such an oddly proportioned one. I didn't realize that if you do a chibi by the rule of thirds, which is 1/3 is head and the other 2/3 are body, versus the standard chibi, which is 1/2 head, 1/2 body, um, proportionally, you're supposed to do mostly leg and not so much torso. But I made Itera a lot of torso, so that was my fault. I've never drawn a lot of chibis. Let's see. Then we need to do scarf still, and we also still need to do hair. So let's turn her. This is cute. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's mostly just scarf. So we'll do the little scarf from the front. Sora, I want to learn chibis. Grabbed a book to help. Oh, nice. They are so cute. They're really, really cute. I also really like the going from like the really big eyes that you usually do like that, and then just going down to like a little, this little thing, which is that's the cutest thing to me is simplifying the face to the point that you can make it look something that might be derpy normally just looks absolutely like the cutest freaking thing ever. Let's see. Does she have a bracelet on both sides or just the one? No, just the one. And you really can't see that. Can't see it on either really well. Let's see. It was this arm. I can do a little bracelet here. Do a little bracelet. And then let's do the scarf before I forget it exists. Scarf, and we can exaggerate the scarf a little bit. It will cover up shoulder on one side. Huh. Yeah. Actually, why don't we just we'll cover up not all of the shoulder, but a good chunk of it. Just to make the scarf look big. Then we'll do the shoulder peaky right there. I'll just tilt this up a little. There we go. I like this. Scarf is cute. Don't have to edit the face too much because it's kind of just regular face. Is perfect. I don't have to do anything crazy with teethies or anything like that. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, does Hibiki have heterochromia? I think I see a slight variation on the eye green. Yeah, it looks like it's dark green on one side and kind of maybe a gold on the right. Or, well, opposite, but if you're looking at her anyway. Alright, that's cute. And then I think these actually would be really cute on the sides. So we'll do the little ties for the sides. And there we go. Yes, green and yellowy. Okay, that's cool. I like that. All right, and then we just need, I'm gonna put on the other layer. And the sketch is almost done, I think. So we just gotta finish the hair and we're all good. So all my characters have heterochromia. There you go. That's how they all tie in. That's how you know it's you. Honestly, that's a really decent way to be like, yeah, no, I am all these characters. You give them something in common. You can do eye color, you can do hair, whatever you like. But that's really fun. Let's see. How is hair? So hair is long, and hair, I think it's just clipping in this because but it swoopies a little bit. Should it also swoop in front of the shoulder on the right side? Is that just the beside your fox girl? Oh, okay. But yeah, so should the hair do the same thing here that it's doing on the other side, which is just a little. Oh, I might be blocking some of my cute things. Hold on. Let's move it out. So let's about here. So we get to see all the cute things. Here, but yeah, does it do this on both sides? I can't quite tell because on the reference sheet if the other one's supposed to go behind the shoulder. Shouldn't. Oh, it shouldn't it? Oh. Yeah, I mean it's fine. It looks fine. It's just clipping a little bit. But that's fine. It's just the angle I think you have her rotated at. Let's You can also just have it go over the shoulders, which that actually might be better for the intents and purposes of. Let's see. Let's see what it'll look like. This is why we do a big sketch phase. Just to make sure all of the things are exactly as we want. Yeah, let's just do this. Let's do this. So that kind of frees up any stuff I was about. One there. Rest of it. That'll work. This one's a lot more sketchy than all the other hairs because I sure will. No, I think that works. Very nice. And then let's do the same thing on this side. And then we can actually just have it come over. Sora, I need to make a short-haired or casual version of her at some point. Yeah, that'd be cute. You could have her with a ponytail. I think a ponytail would be really cute. Let's see. What? Have it get big here. Everything be visually interesting. Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be up there. Visually interesting is sometimes better than the realities of gravity. But yeah, I think a ponytail would be cute, or if you want to like clip her hair up, that might be nice. You give her a flower hairpin instead of the little clippy in the front. You could do like a big hairpiece. That would be fun. That, or do I want to go down here? Yeah, maybe we want to do that instead. So down here. There we go. I think that. And then we need, let's see, how long is the back of the hair? Back of the hair is to mid back. So it should be. We're kind of exaggerating her hair for the sake of this, but let's. Oh, and it's pretty straight in the back. Okay. Let's do it like we're exaggerating it a little bit. Like give it a little depth. A little depth should be good. Okay, I think that looks nice. Sora, she angry that Azu ate all the cookies from the cookie jar. You don't know how. Oh, speaking of, Azu, if you would like to raid my bag, there are cookies for you. I might have forgotten to give you Oreos earlier that have been dipped in chocolate. There you go. There's your present for putting up with me today. Uh, yeah. I get a lot of like little treats and stuff from like work. And Azu gets the majority of them. Uh, Honestly, they deserve it. They put up with a lot of nonsense. Okay, this is good. I might pull this down a little bit on this side. Uh, yeah, slightly. Don't need to keep original. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes keeping aspect ratio is a pain in the butt, but it do what it do. I wanna, yeah, let's give it a little bit back because we have plenty of room to exaggerate the hair. But yeah, she angry because she want cookies. Let's exaggerate back the hair because at this angle, I think it would. I think that also means we should exaggerate the front of the hair. So let's get quick, and then let's go back to the first layer I did. Let's make this. There we go. I think that also gives it a little bit more depth too, which is nice. Okay. I'm gonna add in a bunch of details. It's completely unnecessary, but it makes me happy. All right, I think this is pretty good for our sketch. I don't think we need much. I think this is pretty good. All right, so these typically take me 2 hours to do in total, and we're actually fairly ahead of time. Oh, wait. Does skirt have a... Oh, skirt has a rip on this side. Skirt has a thing on this side. I didn't realize that. Hold on, let's do that real quick. I didn't realize that we have a cinch. So it goes... There's little shorts on this side. And then have, do that really quick, is this. I did not realize that it was different on both sides. Right, and now it doesn't matter that it's on the ground because now she has shorts underneath. Perfect. All right. This side. There we go. Much better. That. And it has a little X, I think. That'll be fine. That'll work. All right. Actually, keep the wave going under here for the rest of the skirt. Not that I have the rest of the butt showing. That's how I've done it before. But that doesn't. That's fine. Okay. Skirt does funny skirt thing. Okay, so that works. Fantastic. Okay. Alrighty. And then I can't quite see. Oops, I bumped the mic. I can't quite see the sock detail. Little bit of twirly whirlies, kind of. It's neat. It goes, kind of, so it goes down like this. Then it has kind of a fancy thingamadoo. And then does it do it on the inside of the sock or just the outside of the sock? Can we find out? I think it might just be the outside of the sock. You know, Sora, is it just the outside of the sock? Or is it also the inside? Because if it's both sides, I'd put it on this one too. Let's... Only on the outside. Okay, okay, so I'll only do it on this side. And let's do... I'm not sure what it's look like exactly, but we'll make it look interesting. A little hard to... I see a loopy here. Big loopy. And a little loopy. And this probably won't translate well anyway because of how tiny it's going to be. We'll just kind of make it interesting. As long as it's visually interesting, that's all that matters. Okay. Alright, so let's back out here. Let's go up to picking colors. Good news is the face is pretty easy to pick colors off of. Alright, so let's go back to the jar and let's make some outlines. These are all sketch, and then let's make an outline layer. Now this is the part where it's a little awkward for me because I'm leaning in the other direction, so outline. Outlines. And I'm not gonna be smart and do it on separate layers because it's an emote. So we're gonna do it all on the one layer and then we'll just recolor it when it comes time. Let's see. Opacity. I don't know. So 75 and 75 as well. Just so I can actually see. Alright, there we go. That's better. Alright, so lines. Let's see how it looks at 100. I think those are... Okay, I think that's reasonably thick, like it's not too thick. We want it to be thick enough to have weight, but we don't want it to be so thick that it takes away. You also have to keep in mind of that. Okay, so I'm at like 200 zoom. I should not be at 200 zoom for this, because it's going to be much smaller than this on everything. Let's do some black eyes first. Maybe what I should do is I should do the cute little beans and then take away from let's control C, control V, over, ooh, left. Oh! I copied everything. That does not surprise me. Alright, then let's get rid of the extra cheek. Delete. Up, up. Alright. And then merge. Fantastic. Okay. Engie. I could have just done the Engie. I didn't have to. Oh well, this gives it character. I think that looks even enough. Let's see, how does it look? Flipped. Well, I can't see because I've got stuff in front of mine. Maybe I should just do one to start out with. Hold on. And then, yeah, let's do that. Let's actually make one look good and then copy that. Okay, let's do that real quick. Everything with me is a learning process, including things I've already done before. uh, oh god, isn't that a mood? Control C, Control V. Alright. And then we're gonna edit. We're gonna flip it. Alright, edit, transform, horizontal. Then we're gonna move him over. Honestly, that's such a mood for me. The amount of times I've had to relearn a skill, whilst doing like a test or something because it had been so long since I had that class. That's me in a nutshell. I actually spent several years not at college. So after graduating high school was a struggle. I had like health problems and stuff. And I was like, I'm going to take a break. If I ever go to college, I want to make sure for sure that I know exactly what I want to do. Um, and so I had like 3 years in between, and then I finally figured out what I wanted to do, which at the time was nursing. So I wanted to be a nurse. I ended up changing that very quickly. Not because I didn't like the concept of it, but because I realized how much emotion is invested in it, and I didn't think I could handle that. It's really funny being a person that does activities with the elderly now. So I interact with nurses all the time. You kind of have to a little bit be a bit of a nurse, not a lot, but you have to know things. But yeah, so I took like a 3 year gap. But so getting into college, they make you take like a math placement test, which is all fine and dandy, except it had been 3 years since I had done any math classes. I was freaking out. I was hold down. Um, so I was freaking out a little bit because there was a lot of things I just could not remember. I knew vaguely, but could not remember. And I basically relearned, I taught myself over again how to do the, not foil, but the opposite of foiling, the MXB, whatever it is. Yeah, I retaught myself that. Um, during the test. So the test itself, you had as much time as you needed to finish the test, which was perfect. They should have never done that. Um, because I took 3 hours, and then when I got back to the lady who had given me my paper and was like, "Oh yeah, they took 3 hours. They're gonna he's not getting very far, is he?" And then ran my thing through the machine and was like, "Oh, you can go into any math class you want." And I was like, "What? What do you mean? I haven't done math in ages. I should not be allowed to do extra math. Don't let me." But yeah, so I was basically, she was like, "Yeah, no, you, you're good. You're good to go. Take calculus or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I'll do it." It also helps that I'm very good at multiple choice tests because obvious answers are obvious to me at least. Process of elimination works wonders. So I guessed for one section that I definitely had never learned ever because I recognized absolutely zero of it. Uh, calc was scary. I only ever got through pre-calc because I did not make it all the way through college. So honestly, good on you for getting through calc because yeah, I don't remember. Is calculus the one that has sine and cosine? Because I hated that. That's my least favorite because my brain cannot register those as actual things. It's like, no, that's not. This isn't real. It's just not. Sora, I had to take it twice. Oh my gosh, poor thing. At least you got through it. You did it. You're done. Hopefully. Hopefully you don't have any more math. Cuz yeah, math is oh god, math. I don't hate math. It's just learning it's a struggle, especially because anytime I'm learning math, it doesn't I have to do so many problems to get it to sink into my head how it's supposed to work. And by the time I've done that, all of my executive functioning is gone. It's done. It's like, nope, we're not doing any more. So by the time I've done enough to actually learn it, I just can't math anymore. I can't do it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to be around it. And my brain goes, no. Sora, I graduated, so I should be fine. Okay, good. Sora, yeah, sin cosine stuff. Never again. Oh my gosh, I fucking the sin cosine tan, that whole thing. I logically got it on a certain point, but then when we started doing, because like inputting it into the calculator was fine. I could make little waves and little charts and everything. That was cool because I had a graphing calculator, so everything was really good. But then getting to the part where they're like, yeah, no, now you have to plug this into mathematical equations, and I'm like, there's no number that's because like pi is something physical. Pi is 3.14 and a lot of change. But sin and cosine, no one ever gave me a good like what this stood for, and that made my brain very angry. And then they started talking about imaginary numbers, and I'm like, what the fuck do you mean the number is imaginary? How can a number not exist, but we're using it in a thing? I don't physically understand. And I'm sure that was a misnomer kind of situation where it probably has it's not actually imaginary, but I really I like math to a certain point. I really enjoyed algebra. I actually very much enjoyed algebra. I did not enjoy anything past algebra. I didn't get very far past algebra, obviously. But yeah, no, no, fuck that. Genuinely, I can't. It was a struggle. Uh, Sora, Sora, yes, I equals this number, V equals that. Yeah, no, but algebra was fine. Algebra was I can logically take something from this side and something from that side, remove it, and eventually get the thing we're looking for. I could get that. I could get plugging a number into a formula, all that good stuff. I could get the amount of algebra we needed for chemistry, which I loved. I loved chemistry. I didn't take a lot of chemistry, but the little bit I took, very, very pleased with it. Um, Made me very happy. But yeah, so converting one thing to another using algebra for that, that was fine. That was easy. But yeah, no, calculus. I don't know what this stands for, so it makes my brain hanky. I just know it stands for this one goes swoop-de-loo and this one goes over yonder. That's what we got. We got swoop-de-loos, we got ziggy-zoys, we got wibbly wobblies, and that's all I know. They don't make any sense to my brain. Chemistry. Did you like chemistry, Sora? I enjoyed chemistry so much. I didn't take it in high school. Because I knew that not only did they ban the use of any kind of chemicals, but I was struggling back when I was in high school just because I was out a lot. So I wasn't going to get enough from it. And I was like, this is another math class. I'm not going to enjoy this. I was so wrong. Like, it is a lot of math and chemistry, but taking it in college where you could actually do fun experiments, you could use chemicals, you're all adults, so they trust you with things, was so nice. So great. Sora, I loved all the science class. Yeah, science is great. What kind of science class did you take? I have taken an oceanography course. That was a special one. I've taken earth science. I've taken chemistry. All of the like the basic ones from high school, definitely. I've also taken like human sciences. I don't know if you want to call it that, but I've taken like anatomy classes for when I was prepping for the nursing stuff. Um, biology I've taken several times. I have some really funny biology stories. I've met some people who did not know some things that I thought were common knowledge, and I shouldn't make fun of them for not knowing things, but oh boy. I've met people who didn't know that kangaroos were marsupials, and I didn't think that was a thing that people didn't know, but that's a thing someone did not know. I could tell you some stories about the girl in my oceanography class. She was something. She did not know. She didn't know. She was happy to be, and that's good enough. Sora, but physics we did. So Sora, you took biochemistry, earth, and physics. Oh, you took physics. I started physics and then I stopped because the teacher I had was like a substitute. The teacher had quit, so she was like a long-term fill-in. We weren't gonna get an actual teacher who knew what they were doing. And she knew nothing, and we weren't learning anything, and so I dropped the class. And then it wasn't that long afterwards that I just dropped college altogether because I would have went back and tried it another year with another professor. But yeah, no, that was the only professor on that campus, so that was all I could do was just drop it. Sora, but physics we didn't get to do labs because Rona occurred that semester. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's gotta suck. I got all my college, the little bit of college I did, I got done before the pandemic set in and all that. So I didn't have to, but I did do a stupid. The last year I took three sciences in one semester. And now that really wasn't a problem to me because that was basically all I was doing. And I did like one like fun class. I don't remember what it was at this point. Um, but it was a lot of work and it was a lot of juggling time. Yeah, that was big brain. Yeah, big brain. It wasn't anything super advanced. It was I took a chemistry class, I took a bio class, and that was when I tried to take the physics class, but because physics was the way it was, I ended up having to drop it. So I didn't actually. So it ended up being only two lab classes. Everyone looked at me like I was crazy. Which I kind of was. I should not have done that to myself. I know better now. That's a lot of labs. It's also a lot of lab write-ups. That was the big thing. Was like I could handle the time, I could handle doing the homework, I could handle all of that, but I could not handle all of the frickin' lab reports. Too many lab reports. Too many yes, I did a thing that you know that I did because you were there and you watched me. um it was also just a really bad year in general for me. So I'm not surprised I didn't really get through everything. But yeah, no, don't take multiple lab courses. For your own sake, maybe two. Maybe two. Two really wasn't that bad, but definitely not three. um but I love learning things, and my biology teacher for and it was really bad because it was really just bio 101 because you needed that to get into any advanced biology. By the time I was taking those classes, I was like, I'm just going to get a biology degree, a general biology degree, and then maybe figure out what kind of things I want to study once I get into big college because I was still in little college um and aiming to transfer at some point. But yeah, so I had and a lot of my biology stuff I knew already, so there really wasn't a lot that I was learning that year. I was actually really kind of bored. My professor liked me, but he also kind of just was. He was just kind of a guy. He droned on. He was very boring, and he put everyone to sleep. And I felt bad because when we get into lab, he'd be very happy if you did things good, in like the small way that like a little boring nerd guy can be. It's really cute. It's very much a aw, you're just you actually enjoy teaching. You're just bad at it. Sora, you set this lab up and know what will happen, but sure, I will redescribe what you know already. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was like, why am I doing this? It's not like I'm really conducting an experiment. I'm just regurgitating what we already know. What already exists and what is already functioning in this manner. Um yeah, so that always sort of got me, and also I don't like I like creative writing. Trying to write in I think it was a you can't say I. That was the thing. So in lab write-ups you cannot use I. You can't really use the pronouns at all of it. You're just kind of like the results were this happened, this was placed into this, and you have to basically kind of remove yourself from the equation, which that was a task. That hurt my brain because I'm so used to being like, yes, I did a thing, and this is what we did, and then this went into this, and this is what happened. But then it was like, yeah, no, you have to physically remove yourself from the verbiage of this lab write up, and that just nope. Brain was not happy about that. Sora, what? Screw that science class. No, that was APA format, I think, is what it was. It's one of the writing formats. Um, and that's like the official one. I'm not sure where in the world you're at. I was US and it was East Coast. Uh, and that was just sort of like I think it was AP. I think it was APA because it was MLA was everything that was MLA was everything that was actually writing like term papers and stuff, but like I think APA was like the sciencey one, if I recall correctly. US East Coast, yeah. Where are you also US East Coast, Sora? That would make sense because you're usually in for my stream time. So the EST. I I have I've had some I have had some schooling. Some I've had a range of schooling. I've been to schools that still participate in like the SOLs, which I don't think exist most places anymore. I don't think it exists there anymore. I have New Yorker. Hey, hey, that's cool. Very nice. I yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of SOLs, that I don't know if that state does them anymore. But the state I was in at the time did SOLs, and I was in high school. And so high school, when we get when you have your standard of learning tests, which were SOLs. We also called them shit out of lucks, which is also SOL. And it basically was a thing they put into practice to kind of put everyone in the same page, no matter what school you went to, no matter what funding your school had, which was good and bad. It was good because a lot of the tests weren't as bad as you'd think they'd be because they were meant for also places with less funding, less education. So they were a little bit more, they were a little bit easier than like say taking the final for that class. And that was fantastic because in my high school, if you were a junior or a senior, you could pass advance. If you passed advance on your SOL, you could get an automatic A plus, like an automatic 100 on your final for that class, which could significantly boost your grade in class, which is beautiful. And that was great because I was out quite a bit that year, sick and stuff. And let's see, it was algebra 2. It was algebra 2, which I wasn't doing bad at by any stretch of the means, but I had so much homework that had piled up because I'd been out of school so much, that it was just impossible to catch up. And that's the thing I hate about like American high schools is everything hinges on homework, and it's like I don't have the capacity to do this. You want to grade me on tests? Sure, I do fantastic on tests. Homework? No, not at all. I can't. And then trying to keep up with stuff from being out and yada yada yada, and it was evil. So I had a D in my algebra 2 class. And when I tell you I passed advanced on my SOL, and then my teacher looked at me and was like, "You could have been doing this the entire time," and I was just like, "Hee hee," and then walked out, and then never had to go back to that class, because I got an automatic 100 on my final, and that brought my grade up to a C. It bumped me up an entire letter grade. I was so happy because I got an automatic 100 on my final, and that's brilliant. More places should do that. If you're gonna have a standard test, do that. That's perfect. That's brilliant. Oh my gosh. Sora, homework can hurt grades so much when it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. That was one thing I liked about because when I to the college that I went to, the homework was maybe 10% of your grade. It was mostly test stuff, which that was so much better for me. I know it's not great for everybody, because some people really struggle on tests, but for me specifically, that was something that helped me a lot. It also didn't help the rest of my classmates because the year I took the that year I took the biology class and all the other things, my bio teacher, very few of my teachers ever curved grades. I accidentally brought the curve up, so everybody else did really poorly, and I did okay, and then I felt bad because I was actually doing well and they weren't. And that's not a brag. That's a none of the kids in my class were trying. That is also, though, to be fair, the class that had the girl who didn't know that kangaroos were marsupials. I. It has a pouch. What do you mean? Of course it's a marsupial. I don't understand. I know everyone's education is different, but by the time you get to college, there's some things you assume everyone knows. Just by default. And okay, yeah, I it's not nearly as bad. So when I was in high school, I took an oceanography class. I was talking about that earlier. Um, and in that oceanography class, I had there was this one girl who was really nice. I never really talked to her. She was kind of one of the popular girls, and I was one of the weird art kids. And we didn't have like cliques in my school, so that really wasn't a problem. It's just we just didn't talk. That's all. Um, and so yeah, so I didn't really know her that well, but every time, honestly, bless her. Every time she raised her hand to say something to the teacher, the weirdest stuff would come out of her mouth. We'll start off with we were passing around papers and talking about what specific animals had in common with one another, and she said that sharks and fish and whales were all fish. She did not know that whales were not fish. And I'm like, "Okay, that's something. That's I guess I can see that. I can if you didn't know that, that's not your fault. That's why we're learning." But then she but then we were watching, so my teacher one day was out, and so for the substitute, they left the movie Day After Tomorrow. And in the movie Day After Tomorrow, there's a scene on a ship with wolves. Where the humans are trying to get some medicine on the ship, but wolves, because they're in New York. So I guess there's wolves. I don't think there's a lot of wolves in New York. Like I know we've been we've been making sure the wolves can get back up to snuff so that the ecosystem is more in line with. But I digress. I'm ranting. Um, but yes, so so the scene where the wolves are there, she kind of raises her hand and she goes, "Ma'am, are the wolves hungry?" And it's like the wolves are chasing the humans. Yes, yes, dear child, the wolves are in fact hungry. I don't know what else they'd be, but I'm pretty sure they're fucking hungry, and that's why they want to eat the people. And this is the one. This is the one where because I can overlook a lot. I can overlook a lot of things because not like I said, some people just haven't learned all the things, and some things are just not obvious to people, and that's fine. But then we were learning about plankton because plankton is very good for the environment because plankton creates oxygen. So if there's a lot of plankton, uh, you get a lot of oxygen, and we need that right now to fight off, global warming and stuff. And it's also, it's a big food source for a lot of animals. But then she raises her hand and with the most serious face I've ever seen on a person, goes, "Ma'am, if plankton's so good, why is he bad in SpongeBob?" And I almost, almost lost my mind. I almost lost my mind. She was she was so serious. She was so serious. I hope, I hope she's living the best life now. I really do. I hope good things for her. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was okay. But yeah, so these are the people I've encountered in my science classes. People who are genuinely unaware of things that I thought were common knowledge. Like the fact that cartoon characters do not behave how their species does IRL. That was such a funny one. I could not believe she was serious. I still talk about that. I can't believe it has been over a decade since I was in that class. And I still think about that. She's still living rent free in my brain. Good on her, honestly. She's very memorable. Let's see. Let's do here. So there's a little do a little fun thing. And I think that looks relatively good. You're not going to be able to see it by the time you shrink this down, but we know it's there, and that's the important part. That is the important part. Okay. The outlines are getting close to done. All right, so let me put the ears on, and then we can put the hair on, and that'll be that. This is looking cute. Do little round ends. Uh, I'm wondering if I shouldn't just copy and paste these and save myself a lot of trying to get them even. Let me do that actually. Let me do that. This'll make my brain happy that it's correctly aligned. Control C, Control V, and then we're gonna edit and we're gonna flip it. Okay. Horizontal. Let's see. Do and over he goes. Do. This'll make my brain happy. Okay. I'll lengthen it a little bit because this one's a little bit more out, that one's a little bit more turned away, and that is golden. Perfect. Okay. Merge that below. Okie dokie. So I'm looking at our timeline and it has been an hour and a half. And like I said, these usually take about 2 hours. I'm trying to get at least 2 done today because we have 4 to work on and I'd like to get 2 done today. But I've also been yammering on in my brain. The more I talk, the stupider I get. I just can't focus on too many things at once. But yeah. Oh, what other things happen? So on the whole realm of uh just stuff that has happened since I saw you guys last. What else has happened? I got a new laptop. That was a whole thing. Um, I. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is a whole thing. This is a whole thing. So I for on what day was that? I don't remember what day it was. But last week, I for the first time watched the movie Pulp Fiction, and I will say it didn't it's the filming is well done. The writing is very dated. It's a little problematic. Um however, however, it's one of those movies that really messes with your brain because it talks about interesting concepts like divine intervention and like timelines that all just kind of meet up and stuff like that. Like, that was one thing I actually really enjoyed about it was it had so many little storylines that all properly connected by the end. Most of the little things all got wrapped up nice and neat by the end of it, and that was neat. However, there were several coincidental events that all just sort of there's no way the series of events that happened could have it's an astronomical probability that these things could have happened all in the same exact day. I'm not talking like in my lifetime. I'm talking this happened all on the same day that I decided that we should watch Pulp Fiction for the first time just to experience it. Not because I really was interested in the story, but because everyone talks about it and because it's a thing, right? So it's a famous movie. So and this will all tie in. But so I do trivia with the residents. Oh, this was on a Saturday. Was this just Saturday? Yeah, this was just Saturday. So Saturday I was doing trivia with the residents, and we have several boxes of Trivial Pursuit from several different games. We have almost a dozen. And I have one specific box in that entire cabinet that I have marked as a good one. And I have a tendency to return to that one kind of frequently because I know that the residents know those things. It's a little bit more relevant to their knowledge set from when it came out because I think that particular set came out in like the late 90s or yeah, the mid 90s. We'll say mid 90s. So it's an old set, but it has a lot more things that are relative to what they know, and it's not too modern, basically. So anyway, I have been through that box kind of front to back at this point because we've gone through it so long, and I have been with that department for a X amount of years, right? So I'm very familiar with the contents of this box. Now I happened to pick a card that I had never seen before, and I knew I had never seen it before because it had a question about a movie that I'd never heard of, and I could not recall ever having asked this question to the residents. And the question was, how many guns of Navarone are there? And they had to. I said Navarone because I thought it was like Spanish or something, and it should be pronounced with a re instead of like Navarone or Navarone. Nay, nay. It should be a nay because it's ONE and not just like the English pronunciation. And they were like, no, it's Guns of Navarone. I'm like, oh, you guys know what this is? I'm like, is it a movie? What is this? I've never heard of this before. And they're like, yeah, it's a movie, and there's two Guns of Navarone. And I'm like, that's really interesting. So file that away. File that away for later. So after work, I was really exhausted, and we decided let's throw on because I got the deal for HBO, where it's only like $3. It's for their ad version, but it's $3 a month, and I'll probably end up canceling it after this month anyway. I'm just watching what I'd like to, and then it's gonzo. Um, and we decided our first thing we picked out. So we were just perusing, and then there is I don't remember the name. I remember it's like Heaven Helpers or something like that. It's an angel show it's a series that is on HBO Max, and it's starring Daniel Radcliffe as an angel, and then God is played by Steve Buscemi, and it's now this is the God that's kind of like he's just like an old guy. He's washed up. He's drinking beer all the time. He sits on his couch and is like, "What is life?" He's kind of just given up on the whole idea of being God. Sora just gotta binge everything like you like and then cancel. Exactly. That's exactly because my main reason for getting it was because I wanted to watch Our Flag Means Death season two. Very happy about that, but we'll get back to that later. But yes, so we tried out. I think it's like Heaven Helpers or something like that. I don't remember the name of it, but it's got Daniel Radcliffe in it, so it should be very easily searchable. But it's about angels, and the main character is trying to get to help more because the department of angels she was in, she wasn't happy with. So she gets transferred to the prayer departments to answer prayers. Um, and Daniel Radcliffe pops out. And he's like, yeah, so we're answering a prayer about finding your keys. So this is whole thing of like, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing with the prayer department. This is a great use of our time and our effort is deleting little like snowflakes and stuff so that this person can find their keys in the snow. But this will tie in later. So Steve Buscemi is God. We were finding keys as an answered prayer. So then I watch Pulp Fiction for the very first time that same day because we didn't really even make it through a full episode of that show because we just weren't feeling it. It wasn't our vibe for that day. So we didn't make it through a full episode. Usually I'll give something like I'll give it like 3 episodes to hook me, and if it doesn't, I just don't watch the rest of it. However, this one we were just like, nah, it's not worth our time, so we turned it off. But then we put it up Pulp Fiction, and in Pulp Fiction, there was a scene where Samuel L. Jackson says, I am a gun of Navarone, and I had never heard of that before, and he said it in that movie, same day. And then later on, they were talking about divine interventions and miracles, and they're like, you know what, that's not a miracle. What's actually a miracle is finding your keys. And I'm like, there's no way. And then random side character that you could blink and miss was young, in his 30s, fairly decent. Like, he still had his hair and everything. He looked actually pretty good. Blink and you missed it. Steve Buscemi was a random waiter, like with a couple lines, not anyone important. And I don't think he was really big back then. I think that might have been this might be one of the films that made this. I don't know. I don't know enough about actors and stuff. But all of these things tied together that day. And you can't tell me there's not some weird divine nonsense going on. Who is writing my story and why are all these things tying together? Why? I don't understand. What is going on? It doesn't make any sense. Steve Buscemi is even listed for that movie. I don't understand. I don't understand. I was going a little crazy. I actually messaged my friends in the hub world, and I was like, "Yo, this is like some wild stuff." Like, I didn't actually tell them why I was freaking out, so I still have to tell them at some point. I'm gonna wait until I get into a voice call because it's really hard to text it. I rant texted my friend about it, and they were laughing. I'm like, "This is a sign, isn't it?" They're like, "Yeah, you should start a cult." Just start a cult. And I'm like, that's not a bad idea. We could do that at some point. We could play Cult of the Lamb. I do hear they're getting a big update, though I'm a little concerned about it. But yeah, we can play Cult of the Lamb at some point. If anybody wants to join my cult. My very fictional, not real at all cult. But yeah, so I don't know in what, like, for the universe to align in the manner that it did is wild. It is absolutely 100% wild for the universe to align exactly as it did that day. And I am not a religious person. I don't believe in much. I do, however, know that when a series of coincidences happen, there's something there. There's something going on. There's some hooey. I believe in magic. Like, magic is what keeps the shop afloat. Magic is what keeps us in this dimension. Like, that's all. So there could be, you never know. I was like, we're in a story and it's being written by somebody, but they have impeccable timing, impeccable writing. I'm just here. I'm just a character. It's fine. I don't know if I'm the main character, or if this is just some weird side character revelation, but I've had it. So yeah, that was my Saturday. For anybody who's interested, that was my Saturday. Um, but yeah, so I did actually enjoy Pulp Fiction, mostly for its filming quality and because it's just an interesting ride, to be honest. Very interesting. I would not recommend it for anybody who has any kind of like sensitivity, big trigger warnings, because it's very violent. There's some things that happen in it that I don't want to spoil, but I also, if you're sensitive to really anything, don't watch it. The only thing I'd say is, like, if you're scared of spiders, I don't think I saw a single spider, but that's kind of it. It was yeah. That was a film. That is a film that exists. Yeah. Sora, fate. Yes, fate. Exactly. It's just fate. I I don't know. It was fate that I watched it that night. It was fate that everything lined up exactly the way it did, and I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue. I didn't know what sign fate was trying to give me, but I was very honestly, I was running on so much juice. I was like trying to call my dad. My dad is very hard to get a hold of at any point in time because he is the creature that he is. That's just him. He's very transient. He kind of does what he wants, and that's cool. I've just That's just kind of how it is. But he messaged me at like midnight, and I was not awake anymore. But he was like, "Hey, are you still up?" And I was, because I had left him a long, like, "I had a divine moment, Dad. I don't know what's going on, but it's happening," and I still haven't talked to him since then. He still hasn't called me back and left me a message saying, "Hey, let's chat," or whatever. Oh, I should move this. I should move the jar. Hold on, let me jar. Uh, there we go. So yeah, that was a whole thing, a whole thing. Very interesting. So yeah, that was that was my Saturday. I think that was the other big thing I had wanted to talk about. Not a lot of big things have happened in my life other than the laptop, and me needing to delete so much of my backstory. A lot of things I just didn't need anymore. But yeah, I should take a sip of something. I am hot. I got very excited telling that. Wow, this is lukewarm water. All right, I'm shedding a layer. One sec. Let's ignore the shuffling of. Ah, okay, that's much better. Oh, I can breathe. I feel like I do a lot of removing of layers. I really need to make sure that my coat is removable for my actual like 3D, like my live 2D model. Why do I say 3D? I say 3D too often. It's not 3D. It's live 2D. That's the whole thing. But yeah, so I should. I removed my jacket often enough. Make sure that it can actually work that way. Right, I almost clicked something on my thing. That's fine. I'm silly. I have Am I on? Oh, nope, not on the right. Well, merge it. And we're at the point. We're at the point we can merge it. All right, hair layer is going below. Oh, no, we are not. We are not. We're not. Let me erase the ears real quick. Oh, this is why. Silly. Okay. There we go. That's better. Everything else should be fine. Yeah, let's, because I'm gonna get really confused very shortly. Merge with layer below. All right. And then let's get rid of this. And how has everybody been? How's life been? I hope everybody's been having a good. It has been a while since I streamed. I think it's been like 2 weeks. I didn't stream, but I was on other people's streams. I think, was that last week? I think that was last week. I think, that wasn't Saturday. Was it Saturday? When was that? I did something with Trist and the gang. It was Trist, and it was Syra, and it was Spots, and it was Alice. We all played Monster Prom, which was fun. That was a really good time. So many weird jokes have come about from that. Nobody asked about the pasta. That is not canon. That is not canon. No one talks about the pasta. Um, yeah. But I had a good time. I romanced the Robo Boy. I gosh darn it, what is his name? I can't think. But yes, the AI computer boy. He was very sweet. Sora caught Rona again. Oh, I'm sorry, Sora, but now it gives me time to make art for a thing, and now Sarah and Vroid to make chilled hibiki. Oh, well, I'm glad at least you're getting kind of a break out of it, which that's nice at least. But I am sorry you're not feeling well. Hope you feel better soon. Hopefully it didn't hit you too bad. Sora, thank God they have hair presets now. Nice, nice. Yeah, I know Vroid has been very useful for people for making 3D models. I have not. I think I looked at it way back to try and see if I could make stuff, and I think it was like a learning curve thing. I have done a lot of 2D stuff, but I've not done a lot of 3D stuff, so I really wasn't sure what to do. um, but I think it's a neat program. I think it had a thing. I think it had a thing where you could draw the hair strands individually, and that was what was giving me trouble. Was I didn't know exactly what I was supposed to be doing, or how I was supposed to be doing it. Let's see. Oh yes, the skirt wibble there. Let's. That looks really. Let's see. But how do you like Vroid? I've not done too much on it, so I really don't know much about it. Sora, that's how I had to make my model. I had to draw each strand. Oh gosh, the pain. Yeah, no, that sounds painful. But you did it, and it looked nice. I like it. I think it's really pretty. Sora, they made it much more useful. That's good. I haven't touched it in years, so I don't know how it's evolved since I last picked it. I don't even remember when I picked it up last. It was way back. But I'm not well versed in 3D stuff. Azu at one point was trying to learn how to rig bones for a model for VR chat, and they were struggling with that. So I was like, I should learn how to do this. And then, because you can make really decent money rigging stuff for people. That Live 2D I got. Live 2D I figured out fairly well. There's enough tutorials out there online that you can really get into it well, um, without too much of trouble. I will say it's much different than anything else rigging Live 2D stuff, but I think I did a reasonable job with Azu's, and I did a much better job. I will say I do need to do a quality of life update for Azu. Also, Azu is still stuck on half model, and I need to get them a full body at some point. I've just not really had time. And it's not Azu doesn't make anything a big priority, so if they don't make it urgent, my brain doesn't register it as urgent. uh, Sora added a second program to make clothes. Really? That's interesting. That's actually really cool. I remember watching someone work on it at some point, and something I didn't know you could do was you could make part of a clothes a standard clothes like invisible so that you could actually sculpt the clothes into something else, which I thought was really interesting. Like you basically just make it see-through on a layer on the layer in that spot to like remove bits and pieces of it, so you could really customize clothes a lot better than you used, which I thought that was really cool. They were making like boots or something. I forget when was that. I was watching that ages ago. But yeah, I think it looks like a really neat program. But Sora Azu is half a person. Ah, I mean Azu's a fox, so that's not an incorrect statement. They're only a little bit of a person when they want to be. They're more fox than they are human, that's for sure. A lot of times when they're in the shop, they are full fox because fuck it. It's much more comfy to just be fox, I think. It is also much more comfy for me to be dog, but I enjoy my human form. That is the reason for me existing as a VTuber is because I wanted to be human, and humans have like a lot of fun. Uh, Even though they also have terrible, sad things going on in their lives, it looks like they have a lot of fun. And I wanted in. And then VTubing was an extension of that. It looked like a lot of fun. So, alright, that'll be a little bit of the skirt there. There's skirt there, and I think that's pretty good. Okay, so let's see. Let's turn off these sketchy layers. So there's sketch base. Let's turn that off. Let's turn off these two. I think that is everything for the sketch. Flip it back around. Oh, right. I still have to put in, I have to put in the hair clip. That's the last thing, and then we're ready for colors. This definitely took me longer than it normally does, but that's also because I'm talking nonstop. And that's just how it's gonna be. What might end up happening is I might start the sketch of Nyaneri, and then I probably will finish her next time. So this might end up being 3 streams long. I only wanted it to be 2, but oh well. I'll find another good day for it. Let's see. Plus, and then let's do the Angie clip. So where did the Angie clip go? That was this one? Yeah, there we go. Let's do this. Nice big bowl, because this is going to be nice bright red. Fill it in with pink. So we're removing the pink. Let's see. This will be my brain happy that outline here. And we'll just put a little clippy right here. Right here. And that'll be the clip. And I think that looks decent enough. Okay, so let's turn that back off. Oh, here, let's make it, let's give it a little body. So that it actually looks like a little bit of body. Perfect. Let's then go to, where to go? Outlines. That, and we can put this stuff in here. That past the clip. Actually, let's look at this. Guys. That I don't kind of really like those. That one's fine. Let's do braced right. This is the support structure. And no one will be able to see this but us. And it just makes, actually you can see it a little bit, but it makes my brain happy. It's just a clip, and it's fine like that. Alright, let's see. And then we can move the pink onto the actual beret part, the barrette part of the clip. Why do you say beret? Beret is a very different thing. Okie doke. Alright, let's turn jar off. Let's save real quick, before something crazy happens. File, save as. What do we want to say? Let's see. Let's put this in commissions real quick. Art, documents, commissions, and we'll make a new folder that is Sora. You guys, I don't think, can see any of this. Oh, the good news is I removed my doxable name from this, and now because I use the mimic trap, it says Themi as my like person account for the computer, which is really funny to me because it just couldn't load all of the mimic trap in. Which I thought was really, really funny. So if anybody ever can see this, it now doesn't have any names on it that I would be concerned about. So this is Sora. Alright. Then we'll put this in. We'll just make this jar. Sora jar. Or, no, maybe we should make it a Hibiki jar. I think I spelled that right. Let's see. Where was that? Where's the spelling? Bullet, and then what? You reminded me to save, lol. Oh, good. I'm glad I can be helpful. Oh, that's good. Yeah, Hibiki. Okay, good. I spelled it right. I'm like, it's all eyes, right? My brain is so dumb. Alright, so let's save that. Oh, it's a Photoshop? I forgot this was a Photoshop document. That's the one good thing about Clip Studios. It also can edit Photoshop documents and create them, which is perfect. Honestly. It's very, very helpful. Let's see. Oh. Because the reason why I was like, let's save this real quick is I might be about to lose this because I need to find a particular brush Um, in this, it's oh, shoot. I downloaded it ages ago. You know what might be easier is it's my fancy. You guys have seen me use the tool before. It's the fancy just do it all in one um automatic painting thing. And that's kind of gone a little, just slightly. So I am not sure what I'm doing. All right. I might have a little trouble. Well, I can just color this like a normal person. That's not a problem. Yeah, we'll just color it like normal. Okay, so this is the dark. And then the light should be about here. So let me know at all if these colors look off to you. So let's turn the jar off real quick so that I can see where I'm coloring. Or well, let's do the dark blue first because I think the dark blue will make more of a contrast for me. And then we can just after that we can do plus this has also been rearranged. I had to re-download Clip Studio from base and I had upgraded it to the 2.0 and that's all fine and dandy, but sorry, I'm getting stuffy. That's all fine and dandy. However, I didn't realize that stuff had rearranged because it didn't rearrange them when I downloaded the 2.0 version, or upgraded, I guess. Oh, shoot. There is a hairline that I want that isn't there. Let's go ahead. Let's put this in hair, and that way I can just re-grab it in a sec. This is the dark. Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and grab the black again and fill the outline. I just needed something right there, and that's all I wanted. Don't ask me why this made me unhappy, but it did. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's better. I'm like this. Don't mind me. We're gonna color at ridiculous zoom because I want to make sure I don't miss spots. First time, Parn! Hey, Parn! How are you? Welcome! It's good to see you. We're working on these little guys. We're working on Sora's character Hibiki right now. And it is going good. I've told some very interesting stories. Parn, I'm late and cannot hear, but hello. Hi, Parn. Hold on, let me type to Parn real quick. Hi. Oh my goodness. Parn is funny. First time chat. We didn't get rated, did we? I didn't hear any alerts go off if we did. So, yeah, no, nothing. Okay, okay. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, why can't Parn hear? I hope Parn's doing good. But yeah, so we're doing this right now. And we have one angry baby for the jar. Which I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope you like it, Sora. Sora, how is this for the dark shade of the hair? I have this for the dark shade of the hair, and then I have this for the normal standard shade. What do you think? Does that look all right? That is what we're working with currently. That's the hard thing about the color picker is sometimes it works really, really well, and then sometimes if the like screen capture doesn't work exactly, it doesn't translate the best. But I did color pick, so hopefully that turns out the right blue. And then we'll of course do the really vibrant white for the highlights. Sora, it's good because she is in a jar, so it'd be slightly dark. Oh, okay, okay, good. So okay, let's put this back, and I will actually do normal stuff in a moment. Uh, Parn, I'm stuck at work. Oh, poor Parn. Well, hopefully work's going well. We have been talking about all kinds of shenanigans. Um, and I don't know if you can hear me, but we've been talking about all kinds of shenanigans. And my computer has I got Windows 11 for my new upgrade. And it has done some crazy stuff. I literally so the short version of the story I was telling earlier is I was having audio issues that I was trying to fix since and it's the same set of headphones, so it shouldn't have any new problems, but I was having audio issues, and in order to fix them, we downloaded Voice Meter. But then Voice Meter did a thing, and then Azu could hear my desktop audio through Discord. And we're like, that's not supposed to do that. So then I turned off all the settings and like put it back to point zero. Uh, and which meant nothing was loaded, including my headphones or anything. And Azu says, "Come over here." And Steam Powered Giraffe was still playing through their headphones, which that should not have been happening. And then I turned voice meter off, and it was still playing, which you're not supposed to be able to do because when voice meter it like takes over your audio, it literally takes over your audio. You have to have it booted up. Like it that was a whole thing. And then we were like, "Oh, okay, screw this. Let's just delete voice meter." And then it fixed it. So the program that we downloaded to fix the audio issue made it worse, but then after deleting the audio program, it fixed it. And I do not understand. I don't understand. This is going to forever be a mystery in our household of Ethan's weird computer problems. So yeah. That's been interesting. I've also deleted like 20,000 picture files manually by hand, going through all of them individually. Um which was mind numbing. But yeah, so that's been my computer adventures. Is Windows 11 is it's not as much of an upgrade as they want you to think it is. Oh, speaking of Windows 11, I heard some very sad news of we still have some time for Windows 10, but eventually their plan is to, if you want to maintain your Windows 10 on your computers and still get, like important things like security updates, they're going to have you pay a monthly fee. Hooray! Because we don't already pay enough monthly subscriptions to everything. Huzzah! So Microsoft is doing dumb, which isn't surprising at all. All right, so let's lock this layer. Let's make this all the lighter shade of blue. Let's just make this for my intents and purposes. Okay, that's good. Then now let us go back to the pen and let's put in some nice shadows. This is my favorite part by far. The hair is my favorite part. And I can't really explain why. It just kind of is. It's very soothing to do, I guess, is the reason. But yeah, I just like doing the hair. It's fun. And yeah. Not just to that, I just really enjoy this step. It's very relaxing. I think I've said that like every art stream is I really like doing the hair. That's just me in a nutshell. Um I started doing I remember I started getting into actually doing things like the hair and all that way back in my art classes with just pencils. And I think that's what really did it because being able to take something and just do a couple little marks and kind of give bring everything to life like that was really nice. It's very soothing. I find it very relaxing. Um yeah. So I'm being silly. Don't mind me. um yeah. So let's yes, streaky and kind of bring it together. This is probably the point in the stream where I'm not going to talk as much. So hopefully you guys don't mind. My constant yammering will hopefully cease. Um, but I've run out of good stories. If anybody has any topics they'd like to talk about, any things they've watched recently, I'm happy to discuss. Um, like I said, I've had a very interesting journey with TV recently. So yeah. I've had an interesting time with HBO. Not a bad time, just an interesting time. I think what else have we done? We've also recently been just for sake of noise, been rewatching the first season of Overlord, which is excellent. I love it so much. Oh, speaking of, I've yammered too much. Ah, my throat is phlegmy. This is also the bad part is it is the cold season and my sinuses don't like the dry ass air that is currently invading this part of the country. So I'm dying. Just slightly, not a lot, but slightly. Just mild death. Sora, Isekai! Yes, I love isekais. Oh! That's my medicine alarm. Please ignore. Ah! Turn off. I will take that in a minute. I gotta snooze it at least a couple times or else I'll be taking it too early. That is a me thing. Set an alarm for a particular time, but it's technically too early because you snooze it all the time. Very me. Azu can attest. Um, I also make sure I like rattle my pills to make sure that I remember that I've actually taken them. Which is silly, but it helps my brain, and that's all that matters. But yeah, Sora, what kind of isekais do you like? Because I'm very particular. They have to be done well. I've gotten to that point where I've watched enough that I'm like, this trope is so overdone. If it's not done well, I can't watch it. um, I really like Overlord. Sora Oh. I really love Overlord. I really love I didn't mind Sword Art Online, but it's not my favorite. What else? Sora, all of them? You love all I mean, that's good too. It's fine that you like them. Oh my gosh. Any ones in particular that stand out though? What else? Because I've watched a few and there's some really, really good ones. There is the one we watched that I hate admitting that we've watched a little bit of it, but it's considered the grandfather of all isekais, and it's really a problem. It's very overly sexy and it shouldn't be. I will say that to anybody who gives it a try. I don't remember the name of it. I just know it's on Hulu right now. Um, or it was on Hulu last time I had Hulu. Um, that one was really well written. I just couldn't. It's not my cup of tea, but it was really well written. Um, the backstory stuff, the world building. That's what I'm trying to say. World building was really good. What other good ones have I watched? I've been reading more good isekais than I've been watching good isekais. I've been reading it's the Little Lioness. Basically getting reincarnated as the it's like the main character's daughter, but the main character is like a kind of a cold guy all in all. Um oh, Sora, Ray Zero is my top ever. Oh, Ray Zero. Um I'm trying to think of which one that is. Because I don't remember if I've seen that one or if it was one of the other Rees. Which one is that's not no, that's not an isekai, is it? I don't remember. It's been a long time. Azu, we watched like an episode of it, I think. Oh, okay. So we saw a little bit of it. We have a really, really bad habit of watching a single episode of something. And, and then not end up getting back to it, or like a couple episodes. Um that sounds familiar. I will look back into that at some point. But yeah, so that's cool. I'm trying to think. I've watched a lot of isekais and I can't think of anything right now. ReZero is the isekai with Rem the maid, best girl. That's good to know. I I've probably seen it. Oh, there was one isekai that was really funny. Like it wasn't the most well written thing I've ever seen, but it was like God brought him over to the world and like he ended up being like, no, you're coming with me. I don't remember. Oh god, I'm not telling this right. But anyway, so the god that brought him over ends up getting stuck escorting him around the universe at any rate. So she's pissed at the main guy and doesn't have all of her powers, which that one was fun. um Sora OP is by the same people that did Overlord's OP. Ooh, very nice. Oh, Konosuba? Is Konosuba the one I'm thinking of? Yeah. That I think we watched a couple episodes of that and it was funny. What else? By far, hands down, one of my favorite isekais is oh, Azu, what is the one where he's the most chuny motherfucker that has ever existed? The Something of Darkness. Brain. Um, it's the line he says all the time, and I can't think of it. Sora or overly cautious hero. Both MCs take the goddess. Oh, okay. Um, let's see. What is it? It's like the. Oh, what does he say? What is it called? It's a something of darkness, and it's gonna drive me crazy until I can think of it. But yes, so basically, the chuniest guy that has ever existed ever gets a Sekide. And everything he says kind of comes true. So he's been telling all these bullshit stories, and somehow they come to become reality. And it's my favorite thing. It's really dark and gritty, but it's like it's just fantastic, and I love it. And I'm trying to think of the name. It's gonna drive me absolutely crazy. You know what? I have Google right here. Let's Google it real quick. Because this is a good use of my time. Because we're coloring now. We're at a good stage. Let's hold on. Is Sekai a Chuni character? It's the something of darkness. Something of darkness. Gosh darn it. What is it? Sekai with Chunibyo Otaku. Oh, this is it. Spiriken? No. Yes? No. Oh, I hate when they do that. Where is it? The Eminence and Shadow. It wasn't Darkness. It was the Eminence and Shadow. The Eminence and Shadow was very, very, very good. As far as like world building goes, fantastic, excellent, highly recommend. Like I said though, it is a little on the dark side, so take that with a grain of salt, please. Please understand, it's not for everybody. Sora, yes. Okay, so have you seen it? I really enjoyed it very much. Um, if you couldn't tell. All right, so let's see. Let's get back to coloring. All right, so base color for shirt is this pink, and the base color for the skirt is this pretty. And this would also be, I think, the hair clip light pink. Let's do that. Let's do another layer. And the hair is the one that I was the most worried about. So I can color everything else pretty much on the same layer. I also have to do the skin. Sora, he is indeed the Eminence and Shadow. It's such a silly anime. It's such a well done like shitpost of like a Chunibyo getting exactly what he's been asking for his whole life. I adore it, honestly. Just just really great. Let's pink shirt. Also be guys. Good news is I colored the hair, so I don't have to worry about anything else. And oh yeah, that would top of the. This would also be the shirt. Pink. Sora season 2 is good. So, oh, I didn't know season 2 was out. Okay, so I have something to watch. Not that I don't have a dozen shows I still need to actually finish. But yeah, that's awesome. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear it's still going good because I really he's so dramatic. Like there is no human being that exists that is more dramatic than this dude. Like what is going on with him? I love it. It just it fills me with joy. Oh my god. Okay, so here's the skirt. Sora, I have multiple anime pen to watch as they come out. Oh my goodness. That is a life that I have definitely lived at some point. I just work so much now. I just can't really I work and I draw. These are the things that I do. I work and I draw. What is it? I feel like that's a quote from like Socrates. I talk and I drink. It sounds very Socrates. Let's see. The white. I will say using the blue background as is works very well for the lighter colors. White for the scarf and the white for the box. Also, I am sorry because I've been taking so long just chatting. I've been a little distracted, so we probably won't get to much today, but we will finish at least Sora's. But yeah, this is exactly what my brain is like. I might do the sketches for the other ones before stream just to make sure uh they're good to go. But this was fun to work on entirely on stream. It was actually really nice. But I want to make sure I get at least opened. Oh, I see. Oh, because pinned is also what I thought you were saying. Okay, so I should snooze it one more time. Okay, snooze that one more time. Let's see. Is this actually the correct pink? Yeah, a little bit lighter. Lock the layer so it. Yeah, there we go. That makes it easier on me. Not for much, just later. Sometimes it's really hard based on the viewpoint to get color pick. Same thing with the skirt. Let's make sure we have a good one. Yeah, it should be a little lighter. Oops. Not that this isn't also shadowed right here. Alright, so now I can take it off. And let's see, for the shadow, I want something. Yeah, that's really nice. Shadow here. This should all be dark. It is under the butt. Sora, look at the little goober. Yeah, I think she's turning out pretty nice. I think we're getting there. I am very excited. She's very angry. uh I am very pleased out. Everything's going to be a little bit darker, I think, than normal, fortunately. Hopefully that's fine, because she is in a jar. Is in a jar. Alright, let's see. And then box. And we will change the outline colors for everything so that the black isn't as stark. I really like having outline colors that are more subtle, or at least a little bit more subtle than the standard. Let's see, the red shoes. Oops, that on. They're pretty. This is the same red I think we'll use for the Engi mark. Let's do that real quick then, while I'm thinking about it. So let's lock that layer, and then let's... Yeah, that actually looks really nice. Alright. Here is the Engi mark. I will make it a little darker around the edges here. Flip. Otherwise... And for the structure. But otherwise, it is part of the clip. Alright. Alright, so let's go back to this. And let's see, there's also this really nice sort of purpley shadow here. We'll do a little shine on the top of the shoe. I do a lot of detail for a very small creature, but that's what I enjoy. I hope you all enjoy that as well. Coming along. That is not a line I wanted. That. Oh. I do a lot of silly little things. I don't have to be zoomed in this far. I'm at 150% by the way. Just so everyone's aware of how silly I am. Go, little shoe shine. Right? And let's see. I need a good skin. So I think that's correct. Then we'll use this on the... Try not to get it too pink, because sometimes if the skin is too pink, it looks odd. Do that on a different layer. Let's do all the skin. Oh, let me... Yeah, well, let me do the skin real quick. And I'm stopped naming layers. That's probably not a good idea, but oh well. Light version of that. And I will do the pants and the here. And then we'll do the eyes, which I also really like doing the eyes, but the way I usually do these little guys' eyes, um, oh, should I pull up a reference? I should probably pull up a reference. Let me pull up what I have for Parn's old model. That is what I want for the eye. It's usually like several colors layered on top of each other, but it's not the way I usually do eyes. Not like those super detailed. It's like a couple little color blobs. Oh, I also didn't do the shadow for the scarf, which should probably be a little bit more subtle. Super subtle, but okay. Yeah, I think that's a pretty. Actually, I kind of like that better for the socks. Yeah, I think that's much better for this. A little bit more subtle, but I like that. I think it looks nice. You've chosen a very nice color palette, Sora. It's funny, I've gotten very particular about like color palettes and things. It's not something I used to think about a lot, but I've been thinking about it a lot more lately. Trying to design so many things for like me and for Azu and it's funny. I've learned a lot this past year of doing VTubing and art for VTubing. I have learned so much. I probably never would have otherwise. Let's see. Then we want the pants real quick. It was over here. There we go. Just a really dark gray, but it turns a little purple, which is kind of nice. No? I think that's pretty good just staying all the same shade, because this would all be in shadow. And let's get back to the skin. Let's that, and then let's do the shadows. Other anime I have to get caught up on is it Oshinoko? I think is the one with the reincarnated, and it's really wild. I love that the plot takes such a dramatic shift from what you expect it to, because I was not expecting where it goes in the first episode. But that is such a cool concept. But we never watched it past the first episode. We're kind of waiting so we can binge the whole thing. But I need to catch up on that. That one I'm really excited about. How did I do? Hold on. Let me pull up Parn's. Hold on. Let's pull up. Let's see. That was last on not Discord. It was, did I see it on Twitter? Yeah, I think I saw it on Twitter. Messages. Yeah, that's right. Sora, you actually sent me this screenshot, so that should make it a lot easier for me. That is not messages. That is people that I don't care about. Okay. That sounded really rude. I did not mean it to sound like that. It just popped up celebrities, and I'm like, that's not. I don't care about celebrities. Okay, yeah, I didn't do a whole lot of shading for the mouth. I think when I did it, I had realized it really was just didn't add enough to it. Mm. Okay, so that's fine. That, yeah, I think that's pretty. Okay, it was a shadow here. This helps me out a lot, having done one of these before. Season 1 is done. Oh, I'm excited. That's great. Of Oshinoko. That's very exciting good news. I have things to do, I have so many things to watch. So many things. The 11 episodes? That's pretty decent, I think. Considering the first episode was like an hour and a half, that's pretty good. Oh, I never shaded the shirt. Don't let me forget to shade the shirt. That real quick, actually. Oh, there he goes. Okay, I'm gonna stop my medicine alarm officially. I'm rattling. I'm taking the mids. Okay. Wow, my computer is hot. It has made my water so warm. Mildly unpleasant, actually. But oh yeah, so you said episode 1 was so long it threw you off. Yeah, no, it was, but it was really cool. Azu, so many things to watch. Too bad you feel bad if you're not doing stuff. Yeah. If I'm not being productive actively, I feel down about myself and about things. And that's just how, cuz my brain is mean. All right, so let's go up here to dark part of this shirt so I can do that before I forget. And let that this all honestly all of this would be dark. Part banding here would be dark. Oops. Dark in here. Dark. There we go. That looks much better. I was wondering, I'm like, there's something off here, and I don't know what it is. A little bit of highlights. So what's a good highlight? Is this light enough? Nah, it's not light enough. Let's go about here. Let's try that. Yeah, that's much better. Highlights. Alright, that should be good. And then for the... Okay, so I think the coloring is just about done, so let's work on the... Oops. I see right here where I smudged it. Alright, so now let's work on the eyes. So let's do the eyes next. So let me... Oops, that is not what I'm trying to move. Let's move... Yeah, because this is a really good picture of the eyes. We have a nice bright green, and then we have one that's a little bit more of a yellow tinge, which is kind of nice. And I color picked that, and then I did not switch which thing was being color picked. I'm smart like that. Yeah, okay. So let's see. Let's go back here. So let's turn the outlines to locked, and then let's work on this. All right, so let's do the dark green is on this side, and then the bright yellow is on this side. Now, we'll say, because it is such a bright yellow, I would like to do a little dark to start out with. I think that's what I usually do a darker version, and then we do... No, see. It's been a long time since I've done eyes like this, actually. This. And then a little bit of white on this side. That makes it look a little brown, but it overall gets the vibe we were going. Well, you know what? I might do something different for this because it doesn't quite look the way I want it to. So let's do that. Oh, hold on. Let me color pick these. Let's do this. Let's do something like this. The edge back. Put big shine. And then there we go. That looks sufficiently pissed. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, good. Okay, so let's see. What do you think, Sora? You think the eyes look cute like that? We'll do a little blop on the outside. All right, so let's see. Want a darker green. Or this one. Sora, Azu, why'd you anger her? Oh. And then then I want like vibrant. Okay. Straight off the thing. Yeah, let's make them bigger. Let's make them more dramatic. Then we'll do light. Like they're looking over at the camera. Let's see, how do we like it? Look fine if we rotate it. That doesn't look bad. All right, so this is 100%. This is the maximum. This is as big as it gets. You know what? I think I need to redo. Hold on. I think the problem is where the eyes are looking. I think that's the problem. Let me just a sec. I think that looks. I thought it looked good before. I actually think doing it the proper way is what's throwing it off, which is putting the shines on the same side. Let's do it on the opposite side and see how it looks. You know what? That immediately looks better to me. Okay. All right. That is silly. I'm silly. I don't understand why that is the way it is, but it is. My little chibis usually don't look quite so detailed in the eyes, but I like the way. Okay. All right. So let's see. What do we want for the dark? This is kind of what it's automatically giving me. Wants to. Oh, I'm having to zoom way in here. It's a little purple, but it's not super bad. So let's try this for her outline. No, it needs to be darker. Okay, hold on. Let's do straight down from here. Try that. Oh, that's much better. Okay. That. The hair outline. And I immediately love it so much better with the colored outlines. I don't know about you, but it makes me very happy. Make sure I get them all. Oh, good. And I don't have to worry about that because it's layer. Now, this is the only part about doing all of the outlines on the same layer because it's a little chibi, a little emote that I'm like, I don't need to worry about it, is now I have to color everything and work my way around everything. But that's not bad. That's not the worst thing I've had to do. So, I don't worry about it. It is what it is, and it's soothing to color. But yeah, so I'm probably going to sketch everyone's off stream and just do the coloring and main stuff on stream as best I can because otherwise this is going to take me 4 streams and I don't stream often enough for that to be a viable option. I would though, if I streamed more often, I would definitely just work on it all on stream. I still might. I still might. If I can find it in me to do like binge stream a little bit. You know what? You have quite a lighter hair color. Real quick. Let me real quick. That is way too cute. We need. Ooh, there we go. That's nice. That's much better. What do you think? I think that looks much better. What about you, Sora? It's ultimately up to you. I want to make sure you like it. So what do you think? I think I like it more with the gradient because what you have on your sheet has quite a lighter hair color than what I had color picked. Just because of the way the light is falling. What do you think? You like it like that? If so, I'll keep it. I actually really like the gradient effect. Let me find while we're responding. Giving her pat. See, okay, so you like it? Okay, cool, 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 cool. All right, so that's good. I am. Yeah, you like the gradient? Okay, good, 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 good. Okay, so I thought so. I thought it looked a lot better this way. And it gives it when we zoom out, it looks a lot better too. So that's good. Okay, good, 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 good. How does it look zoomed out for the eye place? Ah, you know what? I know why it looks funny. It needs eyelids. We need to give her we need to give this poor girl some eyelids. Hold on. Let me find the places in the outlines I had noticed I had missed. And then let's give her some eyelids before I forget. Because I did that on the original as well. Let's do that. So it would very much still Angie eyelids, but it would be everything except a nice little shine. And it really makes the eyes pop more and it makes it look not quite as. Actually, let's just do the. Do we want to do the whole thing? Actually, kind of yeah. Actually, that looks a lot better. Okay, good, 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 good. That's exactly what I wanted. This is all part of the creative process. Pretending like I know exactly what I'm doing, even though I don't. Ethan puts down color. Ethan removes color immediately. Yeah, I like that much better. Angie. There we go. Then we'll do just a little bit. Just enough to give a little lip. And to... Now, she sort of standard has blush. Do you want me to give her little blushies? Little Angie blushes? What do you think? Maybe make them a little bit more pronounced than that. Let's put this on a separate layer. Well, skin's not really hard to mess. Yeah, you like the little blushes? Okay, okay, little blushes. Okay. Do little blushes. Highlight. I think it's looking cute. Okay, good, good, good. All right, so should we put a little eyelash on the eyelash? Let's. I don't usually do this, but I actually, you know what? Yeah, it needed that. Okay, it needed that. That makes me happy. Okay, good, 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 good. She needed eyelashes, even if it's just a little bit of eyelash. Okay, alrighty. Let's see. What else do we need? What else do we need? I think we just need to color. Okay, hold on. So let's take this and let's make this much darker. Shoe. I can use the same red for all of it. Oh, what is the stitching? The stitching is also red. Okay, so that works. That. And we can kind of bring that red up into here. Different one for the skin. But other I remember to get the skin right. Only downside to the way I'm gonna go black so that can stay that way. Like gray for the socks. As I get there. I have steam powered giraffe stuck in my head because of the whole debacle, so my brain is just starlight, starshine. How is da 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 da. I don't know. I don't even remember all of the words. It's just like playing in my head right now. I am she. Ah, you're like starshine, just like starlight, casting down on me. Oh, I'm very out of tune. Sora, I get music stuck in my head all the time. You know what's really funny is I found out not everybody has a little radio in their head at all hours of the day. That's not a normal thing. I didn't know because I thought everybody experienced that. Because I have a little jukebox in my head that just constantly, it just goes. A Sora, usually VTubers, so I can do the Japanese. Nice! I'm really bad at remembering Japanese lines unless I sit down and actually tackle them, like on purpose. I can't just, I cannot passively pick up Japanese like I'd like to. It would be so much easier than trying to actively learn any of it, or at least memorize it for songs. But yeah, my brain does not work nice like that. Let's see. Let's take this down. Uh, I would ask what songs have been stuck in your head lately, but if it's Japanese, I probably won't know which ones you're talking about, unfortunately. Uh, just because I never remember the Japanese names of things. I also am not as up with the things as I'd like to be with Japanese songs. Out of the bands that I know I've listened to, it was like way back in the day. I listened to like Abingdon Boys School, and we of course baby metal. It's very big in our household. But yeah, VTubers mostly. Oh, what is it? Bump of Chicken? I think it's Bump of Chicken is the one that does the a lot of the openings for like the Tails games and stuff like that. They're really good. Or they've done a opening for a Tails game. I don't quite remember. It has been. Sora, most of the Niji EN debut songs. I feel that when I was first getting into the to Niji Sanji, I was really like all of the like Stuck in the Abyss was stuck in my head. I have a cover on YouTube. I did a very short, like 1 minute version of a cover of Lazulight's debut song, Diamond City Lights, which I'm kind of proud of. I had intended to do all of Singing March, but then stuff kept happening, so I only did the one song. I was like, I'm doing Singing March does one thing. Um, Story of my life. Life happens and nothing goes according to plan. What is it? If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. That's not Occam's razor? No, Occam's razor is the simplest answer, right? I always mix up my philosophies and my phenomenons, etc., etc. What is it? Is it Occam's? I think Occam's razor is the simplest answer is usually the correct one, and then what is Murphy's law? Murphy's law is the one. Um, that is usually my that's usually me. Is anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and I won't. Oh, is that a gold? That's gold. I can barely tell that's gold. Let's try. Yeah, there we go. That doesn't look too bad. This is a gold. And I think she's done. I think she is pretty good. Let's give her a little shadow just to make it so it looks like she's actually in the jar. Let's see. Something darker than that. Stuck in the abyss. Pew 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 pew. uh oh, sorry. bonked the mic. I'm at the point of the evening. Yeah, I'm only gonna be able to get this one done. This took me twice as long as it usually does because I was talking too much. Oh my gosh, I can't believe. Oh well, it's fine. Let's see. This layer. Ta-da! Shadow. Shadows help everything. Shadows are fantastic. Down on the night. Sora, her new ref will hopefully be neater. I'm learning. LOL. That's good though. Any learning is good learning. But her reference sheet isn't bad. It's just because it's a 3D model, it's hard to get really good static pictures. I do really like the close-ups of the face. Those are very cute. I do like those. Okay, so I think she is done. All right. She is centered in the jar. There's a shadow. I think we're as good as we're gonna get. I'm gonna tidy this up a little bit just because it might look right. There we go. Okay. And then, yeah, that way. Yeah. Shadow looks good. I could have just done a circle tool and been smart, but that's not me. That is not my MO. Okay, so let's see. How does it look? Really tiny. I think it looks cute. She's so angy. So angy. Oh my goodness. All right. All right. So we have one angy baby is done. We have one one person in the jar. Sora, don't tap on the glass. She scares easy. Yes. Alrighty. So I will let me save. File save. She's done. I will send you the PNG shortly. But let's go ahead. Let me hop back into my stuff. Let me put my pen down. All right, thank you guys so much for coming. It is actually getting quite late for me, so I will be stopping here, unfortunately. But thank you guys. I really appreciate you for hanging out with me. Let's go back over to my shop. All right, let's see. Yeah, so thank you so much for hanging out with me. This has been a blast. Thank you for listening to me rant about everything as kind of as usual. But yeah, so we will get the rest of these. I'm going to decide if I can do enough streaming this week, then I will get them all done on stream. We'll just binge stream these, maybe. But let me figure that out. Let me see how the rest of the week goes. As always, these will be guerrilla streams, so I will let you guys know as soon as I know when I will be streaming. It's usually the day of, but yeah, I will let you know as soon as I do. I might be in a collab on Saturday, of Lethal Company. Is that the thing? Is that Yes, I think Lethal Company. Whatever is the game that everyone is playing right now, my friends are all playing. So, so we are hopefully gonna be playing that on Saturday around noon, Eastern Standard Time. Don't quote me on that because I have a potential work opportunity coming up that I might end up having to cancel so that I can make money. But we'll find out. We'll figure it out. I'll let you guys know, as always. Sora, oh god, have fun. It looks terrifying. I think it'll be fine. I don't actually scare super easy with jump scares and stuff. I say, having played having played Fatal Frame and been a little bitch the entire time. I still have to beat that, by the way. I still have to go back to that. That is on the top of my list because I need to beat another game. We've beat like 2 or 3 games the entire time. This entire year I've been streaming. I haven't finished much. So I would like to finish some things on stream with you guys. I think that would be good. But yeah, so I will catch you guys next time. Oh, keep an eye on my Twitter, not just for not just for stream updates. If you're new here, Twitter is the best place to get stream updates when I'm going to be streaming, but also because I have finished part 1 of my special secret side project that's not really a secret. I'm doing a pinup. I did a pinup. It's done, of Azu. So I will be dropping the watermarked version soonish. I'm just waiting for Azu to put up the unwatermarked version somewhere. It's tasteful. There's no bits and bobs showing. It's just, it's just posy and it's nice and just relaxing and less clothing than is, acceptable for outside of the house. um, but yeah, so that'll be dropping soon if anybody's interested in that. And I have updated. Oh, Sora, I haven't finished any games on stream. Oh, I'm so sorry. hopefully that's everything's been so fun that you've been jumping around and not stuff keeps happening, because mine's been a little bit of both. But yes, so I've also updated, if anybody's interested, so my Ko-Fi is where if anybody ever wants to tip me, Coffee or Ko-Fi, it's Ko-Fi. My links are on my Twitter, so not on my Twitter, it's actually on my Twitch. You can find everything here. Go for my card. I really need to clean that up and just have card and Twitter is like my only two, and YouTube, because VODs. Those is my only 3 because I have too many links on here. But yes, so I've updated that. I have my commissions page up, so it'll be much easier if anybody wants to commission emotes, if you want to commission a bigger illustration, if you want to also commission a pinup. I might have to revise my example picture to cover up a small section of skin, because implied nudity might be a problem, but it only says nudity on the main page, so I'm very confused. That Ko-Fi left their TOS very vague, probably to save their own skin, so if they say no to something, they don't have to be like, yeah, no, it's very non-specific. So even though it's fine, it might not be fine. So I might have to, but as long as no one says anything, I think it'll be okay. But yeah, so that's up there. That comes off. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. There's a sticker on my laptop that's only stuck on one end, and it comes up like it's a little tab so that you know that this particular port is for this particular. That's weird. Okay, sorry. I got very distracted by that. But yeah, so I have commissions are up on my Ko-Fi. Keep an eye on Twitter, and I should be streaming in soon. Sora, I will send this to you shortly. It's a 500 by 500 PNG, so you can plug it into Twitch. You can plug it into Twitch and to Discord. Discord's the other one. And they should resize pretty well. If you end up using it for something else and you need help resizing it, let me know. But yeah, so I will see you guys soon, hopefully. I really do intend to finish these on stream if I can. If not, I will be doing at least the sketches off stream so that I can streamline this a little bit. But thank you guys so much. I will talk to you guys later, and I will see you next time. Bye!